Hello everybody! In today's video we are going to continue with our series on the history of Islam, and we have spoken before regarding the leadership of the Prophet Muhammad and the formation of the community, the Ummah, under his guidance when he was in Medina. And today we are going to explain about the Pact of al-hudaybiyyah, the details, the significance, and other historical details connected to such an important event in the history of Islam. We have to say that while in Medina, there was a point in which the Prophet received a revelation stating that the direction of prayer should be changed from Jerusalem towards the Kaaba in Mecca. And during this time, in the year 628, at this time it is said that the Prophet had a dream, and in this dream he saw and he indeed realized that he wanted to perform Hajj and he wanted to go to Mecca. But there was a problem, because we have to remember that Mecca at that time was under the control of the enemies of Islam and the enemies of the Muslims. Therefore, his life and the life of the Muslim was at risk if he traveled to Mecca to perform Hajj. And in order to show to the people of Quraysh, his own tribe, that he had good intentions and he was seeking peace and only wanted to go for religious purposes, he ordered the Muslims that would go with him on the pilgrimage to go without weapons, no weapons at all. So this way the people from Mecca will see that his intentions were sincere and for religious purposes only. And it is said that he and the Muslims intended to perform the Hajj, but the Quraysh and the people from Mecca stopped him and did not allow them to get into the city. They started then a series of negotiations and talks, and at the end they arrived, or they got an agreement, a pact, a truce, and this has what become known as the Truce of al-hudaybiyyah, in which the people from Quraysh stated that, first of all, they did not allow the Prophet to perform the Hajj at this time, and he had to return back to Medina. They agreed that he was supposed to return the following year and they will allow him. And although he was not as he expected, he wanted to do the Hajj, but he couldn't. But we have to say that the Truce of al-hudaybiyyah brought important results. First of all, it brought peace to the front of Medina, that after a certain time there were strugglings and battles and warfare happening. Therefore, there was peace for a certain time. Also, we have to emphasize that regarding the Truce of al-hudaybiyyah, many things happen regarding the expansion of Islam. The Prophet took the opportunity at this time to reach to very important personalities, to very important kings and emperors and governors, and invited them to Islam. He sent messengers and delegations to Christian lands and to other territories, and indeed he sent letters to the neighboring countries and to the Christian kings, and to the Christian king called Negus in Abyssinia. He sent also a letter of invitation to Khosrow II, the Shah of Persia, to invite them to Islam. He sent a letter also to Heraclius, the Byzantine emperor, the Roman emperor, and also to Muqawqis, the governor of Egypt, inviting them, all of them, to accept the new revelation and to recognize him as him who has been sent by God. And if they fail to recognize and to accept Islam and to accept him and recognize him as the Prophet, God will hold them accountable for misleading their people. And regarding these letters, only the Negus from Abyssinia accepted Islam. The other ones indeed got very angry. Some of them killed even the messengers sent by the Prophet. And we have to emphasize that regarding the Roman Emperor Heraclius, there's a famous story that says that at this time Heraclius had taken back Ilia, what was the name of Jerusalem at that time. We have to remember that Jerusalem, this name was changed in the year 135 by the Emperor Hadrian, when after the second Jewish revolt against the Romans finally killed a lot of Jews at that time in the land. And to punish the Jewish people, he decided to change the name of the city Jerusalem for Aelia Capitolina, and he changed the whole name of the country from Judea, the land of the Jews, to Syria Palestinae, and from there came the name Palestine, from Latin. And therefore the city of Jerusalem became known as Aelia or Ilia. And the Arabic sources tell us this also, and it is said it's written in the Sahih al-Bukhari, the famous collection of hadith, that when the Prophet sent a messenger to the Emperor of Byzantium, the Roman Emperor Heraclius, to invite him to Islam, at that time the Emperor had taken back the city from the Persians. And the Arabic sources and the Bukhari says that at that time Heraclius was looking for someone that belonged to the tribe or the family of the Prophet. And at that time Abu Sufyan, the cousin of the Prophet, was in the region doing business, trade, and they found him and they call him and they interview him. The emperor interview him. Who are you? The cousin of the Prophet. And he asked many questions about the Prophet, how he was, his character, his family, from where he came from, his message, how people reacted to the message, all of these things. And indeed, even Abu Sufyan and Bukhari state that he went to the city of Ilia, and that was the name at the time of Jerusalem, Ilia or Aelia, because of the Emperor Aelius Adriano. That was the Roman emperor that changed the name of the city. And we have to point that the reaction of Heraclius, the Roman emperor, was very surprising, because Abu Sufyan says that he didn't understand what they were talking because they were using a translator. And after he finished talking about the Prophet and his character and everything, even though at that time Abu Sufyan was not yet a Muslim, and therefore he was an enemy technically of the Prophet and the Muslims because they were in fighting, he had to speak even and say the truth, the good character, the good manners of the Prophet. And even though the Roman emperor did not accept this, and Abu Sufyan and Bukhari says that there was a big uproar in the court of the emperor in Jerusalem, and they took him out and took him out of the presence of the emperor, and there was a big commotion, and people were kind of afraid of this king of the Arabs, as they call him, as they call the Prophet that had appeared with this new revelation and this new faith, calling people to monotheism and to the worship of God. Therefore, we see from here the connections with the pact of, or the truce of al-hudaybiyyah, that it was a time of peace that was also used productively by the Prophet as a leader, showing his leadership to invite and to reach and to finalize allegiances and to reach out to very important kings and emperors and governors from different regions, and to expand the message of Islam. So this is it for today regarding this important moment in the history of Islam, regarding the truce of al-Hudaybiyyah. I want to thank you all for your attention. As always, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to look at the content of different videos regarding not only the history of Islam, but other topics regarding poetry, regarding the history of the Muslims in Spain, Al-Andalus, and many other topics from the three monotheistic religions from a historical and academic perspective. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'll see you in the next video.